If you're finding this video, I want to let you know that I appreciate the YouTube Mamas, a Facebook group that asked me to do the playlist for Christmas ideas. That's who is bringing this all to you on this little event. I hope you check all the playlists out down below. I would love for you to hit subscribe. Maybe not just subscribe to mine, but subscribe to some of the other great mamas that's a part of this group. So check out the playlist. Make sure you do hit subscribe for all of us. Maybe go on over to Facebook, because YouTube Mamas group over there has some great things going on with YouTube, and we would love for you to be a part of that community. So we appreciate you stopping by and taking a look at the playlist of Christmas ideas that we have for you today. Hi, I just wanted to show you today some things I've got that we're going to have a good time with that are ideas to get people for Christmas when you get kind of hung up on, I don't want to just give them cash or gift cards alone anymore. This is something I've kind of perfected myself at the last few years, or at least my kids say I have, and husband also. That's just kind of the gifts that we've started giving each other, unless we, make it be something big. I'm going to go through several different ideas. Let me get to why I'm here, and that's to give you a great idea for Christmas. These are buckets that I found last year on Amazon, and I think I had a set of 4, so there was like a medium, and there was one actually smaller than this. My grown kids love the movies. The husband loves the movies. That's like one of the best things I could ever give them, is something to do with going to the movies. And the reason I love it is because I usually still get family time out of it. My daughter and son-in-law, a lot of times there's a new sci-fi, which is like maybe one of the Marvels, the Avengers, something like that we get to all go together. So it's a Christmas gift that kind of gives back to me, because that's where my heart is for Christmas, is to be with my family and to make memories and to have things I really treasure. So when I think about what they love to have when they go to the movies, that's where my mind goes with my heart. I have girlfriends, the twins, which if you've never seen them on any of my videos, you could probably find them on some of my social media, my pictures. They get cold at the movies. So I'm going to kind of build a bucket based on going to the movies, and then I want to do a budget-friendly version where if you're maybe a college student and you still want to give your mom and dad something, or a buddy, or a girlfriend, or like if you're a working single mom, single dad, and you just don't have time to do the movies, it just doesn't fit your schedule nor your budget, we're going to kind of do one that's more budget-friendly. And instead of these buckets, pick up a $1 bag that's one of the reusable grocery sacks at Kroger or Walmart or wherever you shop at. They've got the reusable bags, and right now, since it's Christmas time, a lot of them's going to be decorated with fall or Christmas on them, and they're perfect for these bags like this or buckets and the different gift ideas I'm going to share. But there's certain retailers in Arkansas that I'm not getting any type of ad money from that have these little fleece blankets for $2. No, they're $2.50, I believe. Pick one up, make it look a little nicer. I will challenge you, especially if you're dudes or young and don't want to do something, pull the wrapping off of it and go get some ribbon at the store. This one's actually a little fall looking blanket. I bought it for the son, because, he's not about Christmas all the time, but he does love a good blanket when he watches a movie. He doesn't carry his to the theaters, but the twins do, because they freeze to death in the theater. And then if the boy's cold, he just snuggles with the aunts. So I challenge you, go get you a roll of ribbon. I'm not going to cut this because it's not going to stay on this blanket, and I'll probably be using this for a lot of other things. But put a really nice little bow on it when you do that. Now I'm going to slip it off. And yes, it can flatten, because it's the stuff that if it flattens while it's in here, that's fine. But that would fit in that bucket, and it'll take up most of your space in this bucket. So if it's on the budget-friendly side of things, let your blanket be the thing that, you know, is kind of your centerpiece and takes up your space. Let's go ahead and knock the budget-friendly one out first. Pick up a thing of mints. These are Altoids. Mints are always good when you're through at the movies. I'm not going to say why, but you might have a date. You might be driving her home. Or if you're on the couch and you're watching, you know, Netflix or something like that, you might want an Altoid. If you're doing the budget friendly, I only brought in here one package of microwave popcorn. You can stick 2 or 3, or you might have a big enough bag or bucket to stick a whole box of popcorn in. Get a subscription to Netflix. If you are a college student and money is really, really, really tight, it's a month's free subscription. Get your friend's email address, sign them up for a free month, and then cancel it at the end of the 30 days. But the whole month of the holidays, they have movies to watch with you. So Netflix is one of those things that they've started putting out some great shows and have great movies on. If you do want to add a little extra special treat, which we'll go over this, there's gift cards for the movies. But you can pick up just packages of dollar candy bars and different goodies. One thing I love, and I love this no matter what, is make sure you sanitize when you're going to be eating with your hands at the movies or on your couch. And if you don't want to be responsible for a Netflix subscription, something like that, just pick up a DVD and put it in there. That's a great gift. If you've got littles and there's a boy and a girl, make it be both their gifts. Let them share the candy and put a movie for each one of them that will be focused on what they love. So that's my tip on doing the budget-friendly side. Any of this, of course, can be added into the one if you want to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more entertaining. Put the blanket in there. You can throw the popcorn in. But the handy wipes, I'm just going to tell you, when we go to my movie theater now, it's getting to where I wipe my seat down and the hand rest. Because if you haven't been watching some of the germy things on like Dr. Oz, movie theater, handy wipes. Great thing to have after popcorn works too. Hand sanitizer, because our movie theater does not have paper towels anymore. Not in the bathroom, only the blow things. That blows lots of germs around, not just water off my hands. Not that I'm a complete germaphobe, but I got some issues. So that more candy, that way if you're with your friends, take each one of them a bag, pass it out, feel the love, it's the holidays. Merry Christmas, fa la 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 la. I usually do throw a thing of gum in every one of my kids' stuff because they love gum. So gum always works. And when I do put gift cards in here, of course, these I just snagged off my son out of his room and stashed today. But they're usually on a cardboard thing, so it would make them be larger, kind of about that size, so they don't get lost down in there. But if you want to make it extra special, go buy a real Christmas card. You know, write in it. Say, I love you. Say, you do so much for me throughout the year. I just thought I would like to pop a little love into your life. You know, it's popcorn. There you go. And, you know, if it's an adult, you can still stick some Christmas movies in there. Gives you a great reason to hang out with your friends, your peeps, your loved ones, and watch some Christmas movies together. So this is my tip on what to do if you want to have a movie explosion. And yes, I usually do pack it to where it's just like running over. I sometimes wrap it in cellophane, which that's really easy to do. You just kind of, you get your cellophane and you bring it up before you cut it. Make sure it'll do this, but make sure it does that, and then it has the top, and then you tie a bow around it. It's really pretty easy. People like to overcomplicate it. Extra tip. If we're going to the movie theaters and we're buying the large popcorn that can be refilled, sometimes some of the movie theaters it's endless. Sometimes you're only going to get refilled once. But we carry paper sacks in our purse because not everybody in the family can reach the bucket. So So when we get in the theater, we take our paper sack out and we pour people some popcorn in it. So they all get a good laugh when I do that and pack that. And if you don't like the paper bag, because the popcorn does kind of get a little buttery through there, the little cellophane bags you can get at the Dollar Tree or Michael's or something like that for $1 a piece. You can take those to the theater and pour people's popcorn in. And they have a little Christmassy feeling treat on top of that. Plus, if you stick some of those around when you fix your basket, like I'm trying to do right now, after I get it shoved full of all my stuff, then I go back and add some tissue to kind of fill in the gaps and make it look like it's super fancy. Yeah, that's my phone going off. Sorry, y'all. I should have put it on no ring. But this is what it looks like when you give it to somebody. And who doesn't like a gift that when you get it, it's just full of stuff. And honestly, y'all, it just depends on what you spend on your movies gift card. This bucket, I got a set of 4 and they're like $14. So you don't have to do that. Get a $1 bag at Kroger if that's out of reach. Or get a box and put all this down in a box and wrap it. People still love unwrapping a present instead of just doing it out of a bag. But they've got so much goodies in here, it feels like they're getting 15 presents when they get something like that. And that's why my kids have gotten to where they love it. So when I give gift cards, I give them usually in something like this, so they feel like they're really getting some value, not just a gift card. Hey everybody, I wanted to touch base with you on an idea for Christmas, another one. This is something that I do for several of my friends, the types of gifts that they like, and the husband loves it. His would probably be a little bit more extravagant than what I'm going to do today. And you can make this be a little, a lot, expensive, or cheap. It's a nice, rainy, nasty day here, so I've been sipping on coffee off and on all day. That makes this feel like it should just flow right into what I'm going to be talking to you about. If you've got teenagers or younger people in the house and they're not coffee lovers, or my college boy really wasn't a coffee lover, I'm going to touch on things that you might like to do instead of just coffee. We have a regular coffee pot. We're working on getting an espresso machine, but shh, don't tell Dad that yet. And hopefully maybe I find some sponsors on here and get a really good espresso machine, because we love cappuccino and espresso and things like that. My sister has one and it's on my list, but it's going to set me back a few zeros. Yeah, I haven't decided to invest in that yet. But the way we drink coffee, we should. And then I wouldn't have to have ever a Starbucks unless I'm on the road traveling. Speaking of those, that's one thing that when I'm putting together a coffee gift basket or hot cocoa or something, I usually pick up a $20, $10, depending on who I'm getting them in it to, card and put in this. I did not happen to have any of those to show you how to stick in there, but that's not a stretch for your imagination. But I will tell you, if you do cards, please get a real Christmas card. Write on it. Tell them why you love them. Tell them why you want to give them a little caffeine. So, put that in there. Make the people happy. One of the best things about coffee is a great mug. I'm particular about my mugs. My hand's got to fit in there just right in the handle. It's got to feel right, or I'm not going to drink it. And I love mugs that make me happy. That when I'm sitting there on the couch sipping them, or on my back porch, it says something that makes me smile. Life is short. Laughter does the heart good like a medicine. Yeah, that's some scripture on over there in Psalms, but no, maybe Proverbs. But anyway, I do know it's in there. And I know for a fact I make God laugh all the time, because I talk and I make people laugh because of the way I talk. So Just do things that make you smile. This says wake up and be awesome. I try that every day. After I have caffeine, it works better. This one says spread kindness like confetti. Confetti's kind of like glitter. Kindness, I love to spread. If I'm at someone else's house, I love to spread glitter and confetti, but not at my backyard maybe, but not my house. So anyway, just a few tips. I'm still having some glitter issues, and the husband is even worse about some glitter stuff. But a bag of coffee is always great to put in there. Whatever sweetener is their favorite. And I did not bring in the syrups, but we usually have a flavored syrup. Hey Noah, would you hand me one of those? Yes, we use our syrup all the time, and no, I didn't make a trip to the store before I made the video. So that's how that rolls. And I am packing this one for the coffee lovers. And I would take my mugs and make sure that they're wrapped in a couple of layers of tissue, always. Because you don't want something like that getting banged around in there. If you pack it right, you can pack it over here. Make sure it packs up, not next to the other glass. I'm showing you these creamers. If it was somebody you were going to give to in your own house on Christmas morning and you wanted really good, you know, like the international coffee flavored creamers or Coffee Mate, you know, they'll have like peppermint, mocha, and all those good things right here around Christmas time that you can do that. But these don't have to be refrigerated, so that's what I'm sticking in that bag. I mean, in the basket. I had a bag a while ago, so baskets, bags. I pack all kinds of stuff at Christmas time. And there's the other mug, just to show you how that can go. And then this is one of my favorites. I'm going to show it to you, but I'm not going to let you look at it close up because it is my personal one. And we use the mess out of it. Not that you can tell, but it's got a crack back there. And it's actually coming apart right there. I think I need a new one. But you can pick these coffee warmers up in Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walgreens, Walmart, $2 or $3. I use them for candle warmers as well as coffee warmers. But when I sit down and start blogging or editing videos and doing things like that, I forget to pick my coffee up and take a drink sometimes, and then it turns into iced coffee, but it's not iced coffee, it's just nasty coffee because it's gotten cold. This should be on everybody's desk, and it should be plugged in with your cup sitting on it. So if you do a good ceramic cup, don't do a plastic cup, it gets it really, really hot. Do that. And then also, flip side, double portion use, or double blessing use is in the afternoon. If you're done drinking coffee and you do have a candle and you have burned it down to where it's in about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of your glass, do not light that wick again. Your glass will crack and break. Take it from a candle maker. Just don't do it. It's just not right. Just don't do it. And so set it on your warmer and let it smell your office up. And if you like flavored coffee, there's all kinds of flavors. I showed you the one that we use the most, which is a vanilla bean, but you can do hazelnut, you can do all kinds of, you know, the salted caramels, they got everything now. But what I want to flip this and talk about, if you're not the coffee lover, you can still do great big old mugs like that. They're really awesome. But if you pull the coffee out, and you don't necessarily need the sugar, if you're not a coffee lover, but you do love the scent and the aroma, do get a good candle or get you some good warmers, stuff to put on a warmer. You can have the ones that plug in the walls and have the little bricks that go in them, or you can, I actually have antique glass, like stuff I've picked up at the flea market for $1 or $2, but it matches my room and it's really pretty. Or like some of my Christmas stuff that I keep on my warmer or by my desk, and I put those on there. But that's something that's great to put in here with it. I'm going towards the cocoa side. And yes, I'm leaving the vanilla creamer in here because if you use the pods in Keurig's or Nespresso or something like that that has the pods for hot chocolate, if you will set it to do just a little bit less on the hot chocolate side where it doesn't put as much water in it and add some vanilla creamer, it's delicious. And some people think that there's enough chocolate in here, you can just let it do the whole cup. And if you've got a big mug, somewhat like this, the coffee side, you can put pods in there too, because my husband gets both. He gets bags of coffee and he gets pods. I did forget to say that completely. But you can take your mug and you can put some of the pods in there for hot chocolate. Or if you don't like the way the boxes look on some of those like cheap Chinchy boxes, get a cute mug or 2 or 3, take the boxes apart, stick the hot cocoa down in here. You can get some of the little bags and you can put marshmallows in each one of the cups if you're doing like 2 or 3 different cups like that. Or you can just put the whole bag of marshmallows in here. I was out today, totally forgot to get any. So I am going to put some peppermints in there. I have a mocha flavored candy cane, and we're just almost out of the candy cane business because we need to pick some more of those up since it's that time of year. But if you like peppermint hot chocolate, there's you some peppermints you can put in the bottom. You can pick up some gourmet hot cocos, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, probably Kroger, Walmart, all those. But if you want it to be a little bit fancy, I think this actually came from Kohl's last year. So that's still here. I can't believe my boy has not been into that and drank it already. If you have somebody that travels to work or whatever, you can fix your coffee or hot chocolate in a thermos, and that way, should you live in the rural areas that you don't have a coffee shop to pick up cocoa or something at a drive-thru, if you have a thermos, it's great to be able to carry your own and refill on your way to work, or by the time you get there, you need a new cup. A candle is always good for a basket like this. Like I said, when you finish your stuff, sometimes it's just nice to have that refreshing. And a peppermint chocolate bar, just to add to it if you want to crumble it on top of, if you bought whipped topping would go in there if you're going to do it that morning and the person lives with you, because that needs to stay refrigerated. So that's one of those things that makes a really cheap but tasty, very usable, always appreciated gift. Whether it's for the coffee lover, if you have somebody that you want it to look fancy for when you're making them a hot chocolate, like guys, if you want to impress your girl, get the spray whipped topping on there and then drizzle either chocolate or caramel ice cream topping on there. Makes it look fancy, no biggie, double purpose. I bet you got ice cream in the freezer, so you got topping for both. I hope this Redneck Rhapsody tip makes somebody extremely happy with all the Java and cocoa you can possibly have to make it a very Merry Christmas. You could do your own homemade hot chocolate. Powdered sugar and cocoa in the right amounts. Put it in a mason jar like the candle was in. That would be really cool. Put your little tag on there. Tell them that they're the spice and the sweet, the sugar and spice and everything nice in your life. Yeah, that'd be really good. Might sprinkle a little cinnamon in it too. Maybe a hint of cayenne. Just make it all spicy and let me know how it tastes when you get through with it. Just don't use a lot of cayenne or they'll like run out of the house. But anyway, Merry Christmas, y'all. Oh, this would work for birthdays too. Or co-worker at the office, Secretary's Day. Hey dudes, if you find this and you've got a secretary, she would love you forever if you give her caffeine in a basket. But the basket I'm going to throw together today is going to be one for someone you know that loves to bake. Could be male, could be female, don't matter. If you know kind of what their wheelhouse is on what they like, or something they don't have that they've wanted and you've heard them talk about it, if they have something they're passionate about, cookies, cupcakes, bundt cakes, whatever, go for what their passion is. That's what makes Christmas special. It's when you have someone you love and you know how to cater to what makes them happy. So, my husband, he's pretty good with a bundt pan. Last year, that was his gift, was a big old basket. I knew exactly what I was going to do because that's one of his favorite things. So some of the stuff I'm showing you today was actually part of his gift last year. Any baker would always be happy with a bag of sugar. I am doing this to where you can add the things that are budget friendly if that's something that you need to be conscious of. This, I have little small bacon racks. Yeah, they're red and green. They're really cute. I think I picked them up at the end of the season actually last year because we have a camper and they fit in the camper perfect. Perfect. But everybody that bakes cookies, cakes, no matter what, you can put them together if you have a large cake. Ooh, I'm behind bars. Or you've got 2 different cookie racks, that kind of thing. So we're going to stick those in here. And what I got him last year was actually a new bundt pan. And it came with a bundt rack, which I don't know if I'll be able to make this very, if you can see that, it hung over on a regular rack. I had to have a really big rectangle rack or square. And now he has an actual bundt pan rack, which works great for pizza too. If you ever cook a fruit pizza especially, that's great to slide it out on. So you can take your bundt pan, and we use a lot of stevia products. So we have a diabetic in the family. Yes, he is a baker, loves to bake, and he's a type 1 diabetic. So some of those things we're really cautious about. Some of them I've learned sugar is better than artificial sweeteners, so that works too. If you have someone that's not a scratch baker, pick up cake mixes. They had them on sale this week here at one of the local grocery stores for 79 cents a box, y'all. If you get on Pinterest, which everybody knows Pinterest, but you can YouTube it, how to make cookies and cakes with a box cake mix that are fabulous. I add an extra egg. Yeah, I wasn't showing the name, but the back's showing the name, but I add an extra egg when I'm using one of the box cake mixes. Makes it a little denser, a little bit heavier, just a little better. I usually always throw in a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. That always adds some depth to it. But you can semi-homemade all kinds of stuff from cake mix, y'all. And it's better than trying to use some of our unbleached flours that you pick up at the store. I am trying to stay on being a little bit healthier. I picked up some coconut flour. So if you know a baker that likes to be healthy but maybe don't have the budget to buy stuff that they want in the kitchen like that, pick it up for Christmas. Buy some coconut flour. Buy some almond flour. Pick them up the things that, you know, they don't normally spend on for themselves. A great big spatula is awesome. If you have the budget and you know somebody loves the bacon side, buy them a KitchenAid mixer. Yes, a mixer with a basket like this on top. And I promise you, you will not be hungry from that person for a very, very long time. You can throw in some chocolate bars, which I just soon chop these up and grate these as I had just using baker's chocolate all the time. And especially if I can pick it up and it has nuts in them. A lot of times that's cheaper than buying nuts and using nuts and chocolate chips in some of my recipes. Pick up some sprinkles and throw in your pan. If the person is just a cookie person and not a a cake person, because some people like pies, some people like cookies, some people like cakes, and that's all they do is their one thing. Pick up cookie cutters, put them in there. Pick up a sweet cookie platter. You can always put stuff like this in a big old basket that is shimmering icing in a bag. You squeeze it, make it pretty. You can put it on cupcakes or you can put it on cookies. There's some more sprinkles. Maybe they need a new spatula to scoop them off your trays and put them in the stuff. You can spend all day long arranging that and making it look super cute. There's your hot pad and there's your towel for starting to bake again. But pretty much, if you'll just stick stuff in there, always use some color with your tissue paper. There is not many people who do not love, if they cook. Now some people don't cook. Maybe some people you want to learn to cook. That's the ones you buy the cake mix for. And you help them. You tell them how easy it is. A cake mix is so easy to make cookies from. Just help them out. Tissue paper does wonders for things like this, people. And all you gotta do is buy a really big, wide ribbon. And I just usually keep stuffing tissue paper till it looks like I want it to. And then, y'all, it's not easy to see this from the back and know where you need to be putting tissue paper. But I would take a really wide ribbon right here, and I don't have any wide. I have that, but I would do that, and you probably could take this and do it twice. And when you start dealing with stuff that's like this oversized cookie platter back here, you got to be careful because your basket needs to be higher size than what this one is to where it'll hold it in better. Wrap it twice or 3 times if you don't have wide ribbon. And then make a bow right here for the center. Y'all, it's easy. A bow. Hold it, fold it, hold it, fold it. Go to the other side, hold it, fold it. And you do that 3 or 4 times. Have a Chanel stem or pipe cleaner from what we call it. Fluff it up and tie it right there. I mean, make Christmas be fun, make it be personal, but do it because you love them and you want it to make them happy. That's what this season is about. Love. Jesus came, Jesus loved, Jesus died because he loved, and that is why we celebrate Christmas, even though he wasn't born in December. I hate to blow that myth on you, but if you go to Israel, they'll tell you he wasn't born in December, but you know, neither here nor there. We're going to celebrate it in America because it's what we're used to doing. So I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I hope this basket inspires you to go out and drizzle some sugar on somebody. Or, let's see, my old 80s is kicking in. Pour some sugar on me. But this gift is for a cocktail lover. Anybody that loves a good cocktail. I'm gonna go over some of our favorite things that matter most to us at the Welch house in the cocktail realm. Alcohol varies so huge. I'm not even gonna step off that plank and sink into the ocean of alcohol, because drinking that mix probably would not go well for me, at least not tomorrow. But anyway, I am not a really big whiskey drinker. So that's left to Mr. Welch if any of that is taken liberty of. Regular bourbon I'm not huge on. I do some honey bourbon in some of my cocktails and things like that, and recipes that I have. But those are just not what tickles my taste buds. So if it doesn't make me happy, it's probably not going to get my money spent on it and me to make them. So I'll just go over, I'm kind of more of probably a white alcohol person, only I'm very allergic to gin. I do like gin. Gin and grapefruit juice makes me a really happy girl how it tastes, but about 3 sips and the situation goes really, really wrong, kind of like salmonella food poisoning wrong. So yeah, it doesn't take a whole glass for me to be unhappy with that, but I'll leave the gin to my friends because I do have some that loves it. I would be more of your rum and tequila and vodka girl. So drinks that you're going to find mainly on my website will probably have those alcohols in them, unless Mr. Welch, who is the Southern Cabana boy, wants to stick a few of his favorites on there. But I'm going to talk about mixes. If you're looking for something that's really cool to get person for a gift in the alcohol and you don't know what their taste is, but maybe you've hung out with them long enough to know they like sweet or sour and things like that, make it stem from that. Maybe you've ever talked to them and they talked about going for brunch and had mimosas. Well, you could do peach schnapps, so they could throw a little of that in there sometime. You could do a bottle of champagne. You could do a bottle of orange juice. And chances are you could probably get maybe like some little vodkas or something, because they probably would like a screwdriver if they like mimosas. The other thing is, if they do brunch and they talk about that they had a Bloody Mary, you could do a Bloody Mary mix. So a Bloody Mary mix takes up some good space in this bag. Another mix that we love at the Welch's is I make really fabulous margaritas. Gotta have salt to have a good margarita in our book. I do mix them on the rocks. I have mixed them in the blender, but rocks is my favorite. And a recipe like that needs to probably be published under Redneck Rhapsody when I get ready to put it out there, but I've not done my margarita mix yet. I have done a Southern French Martini. It's so good, so y'all go get that, because that has one of my very favorite liqueurs in it. Some Chambord is just, makes me so happy. So raspberry liqueur is fabulous, and it's not cheap. So if you're looking for economics on the pocketbook for what to buy your friends and put in their bag, that'd not be one. But you can always pick up little bitty mixers. These are for different types of martinis. They're great for a bag like this. Appletini, cosmopolitan, pomegranate, mixed berry, and lemon drop. So this tells you exactly how you want to do it. You add 1 bottle of mix and 1 shot of vodka, and you add it to a cocktail shaker. We're not going to talk about my cocktail shaker. Yeah, actually I will in just a second. We will talk about my cocktail shaker. Some of this stuff I used to rep. I was an alcohol rep for Beam Global and several other brands. So some of the free goodies I got was in rep and stuff like that, and knowing other reps in the store. So I ended up with a little collection of stuff. And I've looked for a shaker, but I haven't found a shaker that I like any better than my free plastic shaker. So, you know, what beats free when it gets the job done? And I really love my shaker. Makes the most awesome Southern French Martini. And I'll make sure that that's in the mix of making sure you can find that on my blog. I also believe I probably have that maybe on a YouTube video. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it sounds like I've already been drinking one, but I hadn't had a drop today. It's just been rainy and nasty and yucky in Arkansas, and so I just thought I would bring some holiday cheer and give you some ideas of what to do and what you could get your friends. In this bag, if you're going to put glass stemware, I highly suggest that you leave it in the box, because most of it's going to come in a box. If you like stemware, you may like it because it's seasonal. And this says joy and 'tis the season, and I think we have Noel and one more in there. I can't remember what it says, but it was a set of 4. Really great martini glass is always awesome to have a set of those. And nice, heavy weighted wine glasses in any cabinet to me is kind of a must, because we do have wine. So Get the right glass for yourself. I love having a 1 ounce and 2 ounce, or it's actually 2.5 ounce measuring cups, because if I'm making cocktails for me and one of my buddies, usually we need 2 ounces of alcohol for a recipe, not just the 1 ounce. And it leaves me pouring in, making a mess, because that's how I make a mess, is doing stuff like that. This is sugar to rim your glass if you're doing a like one of the good appletinis or the Southern French martini or French kiss martini, however you want to, whatever you want to call it. This is a little set of all the little bar tools that you can have, and get that for somebody if they're really into the whole, man, I wish was the name of that movie Cocktail that Tom Cruise was in, and he threw the bottles in there and stuff like that. If you're in the cocktail, you just get something like that. That works great. This is a little ice bucket. I did have an insulated ice bucket, and I think we cleaned the cabinet out, and I decided that could go away, because usually we have an ice chest that we just keep on the cabinet, and that keeps my ice perfect for, or I now have a refrigerator with 2 ice makers, so I don't necessarily need an ice bucket. I just go over there and scoop out what I need when I need it. A little scoop, or if you are doing something and somebody's doing like highball glasses and you're doing whiskey and you just want a piece or 2 of ice, or if you have some of the little decorative ice, that's another great thing for this, and I didn't have any, was little molds for, you know, cute things for to make ice cubes out of. If you're making like a cocktail that's like got Baileys and maybe coffee or Kahlua or something, use your leftover coffee in the morning if you have some in your pot. Pour you up some ice cubes, stick those in there. Use that for your drinks so your drinks doesn't get watered down. Anything that you're making your cocktails out of, if you can put a little of it over into ice cube trays earlier. If I'm making frozen drinks that I'm going to be using the blender, a lot of times I'll make a recipe ahead of time, like with the fruit and different things, and freeze ice cubes of that cocktail to where I use that and it doesn't get watered down just from using ice cubes. Sometimes I know you need the water to kind of make it be the right consistency and flavor and not be too strong. But if not, freeze your ice cubes. That's just a good tip. My favorite thing, or almost one of my favorite things that I got last year for Christmas, was a set of these tumblers that are the insulated aluminum tumblers. I think we picked up a set of 4 for like, it was under 20 bucks. I love these so much. They're great for wine, they're great for, they are not, hear me, they are not good for margaritas. They do not make margaritas taste good to me. They taste like aluminum in my mouth. And there comes my little fur babies. So you don't want to drink certain cocktails out of these, but for wine, they're fabulous. And on the flip side, if you're camping and stuff, they're great for coffee in the morning. So they're very multi-purpose. I pack these when I travel type thing. And at Christmas time, if you're looking to fill up a bag or a basket or something really cool, maybe get an ice chest and throw all this in an ice chest for a friend, except don't throw the glass, just set it down nice and easy. Is the little trial size bottles. If you don't know what they like, maybe they don't know what they like. Maybe they've never tried flavored vodka or flavored rum. Maybe they don't know if they like Fireball. Buy the miniatures. And we bought a box of miniatures that I put in a gift bag for people. And I got, I think, 48 or 50. And I think I paid like 40 bucks for them. So they're great to have to throw in people's gifts and stuffed stockings if you know that that's something they like. Now, if they're recovering from any substance abuse, please do not give them alcohol. Anyway, that's my tip on that. Koozies are great to throw in there. Yes, I'm a Razorback. I guess I will always bleed Razorback red even when we go through coaches, kind of like I go through vodka. So anyway, I'm just saying, this is a koozie for more like our beer bottles and my Angry Orchard, because I'm not really a beer girl, but I'm trying. I'm learning. Some of the craft beer wasn't so bad. This is my Lake Hair Don't Care. We accumulate koozies. They just grow and grow, and I think we leave half of ours at our friend's house and at the lake and things like that. But if you don't know what to get somebody and they do enjoy a cocktail or a glass of wine, if they just like wine, pick them up some tumblers, put the wine in a cute little sack, carry that to them. That'll make them happy. New wine tumblers make anybody happy. You can get the little stem decoration things that if they do parties at their house very often, it's always nice to know who's drinking which red. I mean, if you like Cab and then somebody's like me and they like Kool-Aid and somebody picks up my glass and they try my Blackberry Merlot, yeah, they're not gonna love me. They're gonna wish they had their own little stem decoration to know that they did not get my glass. And I feel the same way about drinking their Cab that tastes like I'm sniffing an oak root. But I'm trying to learn how to drink that too and be a big girl. So one day I'll be a big girl and grow up, and maybe I can. The only one I've ever drank that I loved was in Israel, and it was from the Safed Antique Wineries, and it was an excellent sweet red Cabernet Sauvignon. So that's my history on what I can do on wine. Not that you wanted that, not that you needed that, and not that I drink all my wine out of the right wine glasses, but I just love a nice wine glass to have in my hand when I am drinking it, because there's just nothing better than having wine out of a glass instead of a solo cup. Except maybe a tumbler where it stays nice and cool, because my wine needs to be cold because they tell me it's Kool-Aid. But that's how rednecks roll. And that's my rhapsody-filled life. We're here to check out another really good idea for gift giving for the holiday season. Or like I've said, they're just as good for birthdays or, you know, any of those days that you're looking for something like Mother's Day. That's a really good gift. Pick up a pot. You can also pick up a plant, which it's kind of not that season here in Arkansas. It's really rainy and we're expecting maybe some ice tonight. So yeah, November, that's a little unusual for Arkansas. But I'm not buying plants at the moment until I pick up maybe some poinsettias for the season, and I've not went out and looked for those yet. But by Christmas time, I'm really missing spring. And getting a pot with some seeds, this should have a bag of potting soil in it, but my bag was like 50 pounds in the garage, because we usually carry those over and have some all the time because we repot stuff throughout the fall and winter. But I wasn't dragging that in here. But you can get small bags of stuff, because right now, if anything needed repotting for me, I have orchids. And my orchids could use repotting, and a bag of orchid soil would go perfect in here. If you know who you're buying for, and you know what they love, and you know their taste, then that's what you want to pick up for them. But pick up some seeds, pick up a plant if you want to stick a plant in here, potting soil, other tools of the trade. This is a spade, this is my spade. This spade gets used. I did not go buy a new one just for y'all. I have a claw somewhere that you dig with that I couldn't find that. But all of the tools for gardening, a pair of good gardening gloves. And something else that would be great for me in here now is, since I'm fixing to hit that magical number that my birthday's going to change and it's going to be like I have such more. One of those padded, kind of like a foam thing that you use in the pool, but they're for your knees and they're for gardeners. Those are great, or maybe even a little stool that this could sit on that you can sit down when you're outside gardening, because like I think I still use it on milk crate. Because that's how I am and that's what I got and that's how I roll. But a gardening package would be great for someone in your life. Be even good if you pick up a garden hose and put a pot down in the garden hose and then tie like red ribbon around it to hold it all together and have a big old bow on top. That would make anybody that loves to garden, male or female, happy, because everybody loves a good garden nozzle to spray the plants down. A plastic bottle that's empty to where you can mix your own fertilizers, a little bag of fertilizer or liquid fertilizer. There's just all kinds of things you could go within a gardening ensemble of goodies. So pick you up some gardening goodies if that's what you know your friends like, because as I've said in any of these videos, Christmas is about love and joy. And when you put time and effort into someone's gift that you know that they love and they will appreciate it. So what if you give them a pack of flowers that it's not their favorite flower? You know, if somebody gave me black-eyed Susans, I probably wouldn't get excited about them. But if somebody took enough time to be interested in me, that they went and tried to buy a whole set of stuff that made me happy, because they knew I loved to garden and I love to make things bloom, because I just think that that's kind of what we were commissioned to do here on this earth, because Adam and Eve was kind of given charge of the garden. I just think that that's part of my heart that's near and dear to me, and if anybody invested time to bring me goodies that would help me do that, that would just make my heart happy, and that's what giving somebody a gift is all about. So we're going to talk about one more really cute gift idea for people that are in your family for the holidays, or a good friend. This is a backpack, and it could be a suitcase, backpack, just whatever would be easy for maybe a weekend getaway, because the idea I would have for this person would be for your travel lover. Somebody that loves to just take trips and travel. One of the things that you could look at doing is they could get a subscription for Netflix for the travel purposes of download movies on their phone while they're traveling. Airbnb, rather than having your classic hotel stay, which you could book hotels. Maybe you have points that are, you know, just sitting, and that's something that parents could do for their kids, or if you were a traveler all the time and in your maybe 30-somethings and you have parents that you would like to give a gift to, that would work really well for them. The travel ticket is, you know, buy an airline ticket. Right now I know you could buy Southwest points for a little bit longer and get a better deal, because it's a 35% discount if you're a Southwest member. So the ticket itself, wherever they're going, I suggest doing, let's say you were going to Washington DC, or we went to Boston. They have subways there to where if you're not renting a car for them and handling that, they're going to have a subway ticket to handle. You know, maybe you want to purchase that and send that with them. So there's all kinds of ideas around the travel that you could do, you know, for a complete weekend. Take care of the plane ticket, take care of the hotel, take care of the travel once they arrive, be it, you know, rental car, or give them a gift card for Uber or Lyft. And that way they don't have to, you know, deal with finding the local travel like the underground or the buses. Special event ticket. Let's say you did fly them to New York City, or even if it was local for Arkansas people, the Orpheum in Memphis. You know, pack a bag for your spouse, buy tickets to one of the shows at the Orpheum. We've done that. It's fabulous. There's a ton of hotels to stay over there, and Airbnbs. Little bed and breakfast are even also in downtown that are great. But do the whole weekend and wrap it up in something special for Christmas, like a backpack or a really great duffel bag, a little roll-on for a carry-on on the plane. If you're going to do something on the special event side, something we did for our grown kids that couldn't get away because of a grandbaby was we bought tickets to Price is Right, did a tour around Arkansas, and so I'm looking at, you know, doing things like that for them. They enjoy going to shows at the Robinson Center Auditorium, which is here local, and you would have your own venues. So just get online and look and wrap that up in a really cool thing. Like the Price is Right, when I did it, you can print like I did a thing off the show. I did a headline off the show and gave them their tickets in a box all wrapped up. And we made an afternoon of it. We went out to eat. We had a good time. So they got a memory from it, not just a gift for Christmas, because these are things they won't forget. And I made each one of us a Price is Right t-shirt that's all sparkly and cute. And yeah, the guys wore the sparkly ones too. It said the initials for the Price is Right. So we had a great time. The other thing is, even if it's not a real trip that you have in your budget, so this is something teenagers could do for a mom that they know goes to the beach, you know, once or twice a year. This wouldn't work really maybe if you lived in Florida, but if you're a beach person, get a beach bag, pack a new thing of sunscreen, some glasses, maybe a beach hat, a beach towel. You could do just things for the beach. Our grown children like to carry a 10 by 10 tent and put it up like you have for tailgating. Tailgating's another thing. Buy tickets to a great sports event. You know, Cowboys is only 5 hours for us. Saints are only, I guess, about 7-hour drive for us. So all of that would be doable for a weekend getaway. So those are just ideas that if you can't figure out for the sports lover, male, female, whatever, buy tickets to a local football game. You know, like, well, don't buy Razorback tickets this year, but next year it's going to be awesome because we're going to have a new coach. And so for anybody that finds this like way down the road, if this stays evergreen on YouTube, I'm always a Woo Pig Suey girl, so go Razorbacks. But there's just tons of stuff you could do that would wrap around travel. So if you've never thought about doing that, that's a memory you're given. Whether you go with them or you give it to them as a couple, but it's the memory that it makes that is a Christmas gift that you can't go back on. My mom gave us a cruise that was our whole family. She gave each one of my siblings the opportunity to go on a cruise for a whole family. I think we had 8 rooms booked. It was amazing. We did not go at Christmas time, but she gave it to us for Christmas. We even, I think it was later in the year, like September when we went, but we took our kids. It was just, and it's something that now that I no longer have my mom, I have those pictures, I have that memory, my kids have that, and it's something that nobody can take away from us. So I challenge you to find someone that has the travel bug or has never traveled and only dreamed of it. Book a trip. That's one of the best things that I've ever gotten for Christmas is the gift of travel. So if anybody out there wants to book a trip and send me on it, I'll go. Merry Christmas, and pack a bag for you or somebody you love. One of the greatest gifts you can give somebody is the gift of something that is useful. This idea would maybe for like a college student or maybe that single mom you know in your congregation that could use just a little bit extra at Christmas time and doesn't have time to spend on the things around the house. Something's going to be sacrificed if she has littles and needs to take care of them. My grown kids that have my grandbaby, they love this gift. I've given this to them a couple of times. Now, I haven't given them the collapsible clothes basket. I love that because if you're in an apartment or mobile home situation, it will fold up and it will slide between your washer and dryer usually, so it gets out of the way for the week when you're not needing it for laundry. But I give them the basics. You find out maybe what brand they need, and you just put the basics in there rather than doing a gift card. Gift cards can be given with any of the gifts usually that I suggest. You could put a $50 Walmart gift card in a laundry basket with some stuff. Anybody would appreciate that. But I just challenge you to do something more and make it a little bit more special. You know, things that work well at your house. We love Swiffers. Everybody's home should have these. Because when you're running behind and you don't have time to get the rag and all this cleaning stuff and do all that, that is so great for blinds and ceiling fans and just to run across the top of everything when it's just in between times when you're actually cleaning. So Swiffers are amazing. And this is one of my other favorite things. It's the Magic Eraser. And no, I'm not getting anything off this unless you happen to purchase through my affiliates off my blog or something. But that right there, it will get scuffs off your shoes and it will get shoe scuffs off your floor. It takes care of where we walk in and out of the house and drag stuff through our door, such as luggage, and it happens to leave black marks on my wall. Really great for getting stuff off that. Takes spots off stainless steel. I use Magic Eraser for a lot of things, but this is just a great gift for the everyday person that needs stuff and you don't know what to buy them, but you don't want to just do a gift card. So this is a really great household essential basket. And everybody that I know, if you've been around for very long, can always use a new laundry basket. So put it in a laundry basket. You could do it in a bucket for doing the floors and things like that. Swiffers for the floor are amazing. If they've been married a while or had their own home, put some dish towels in here. Put a couple of bath towels. You know, make it full and fancy. I could make it really pretty and look good, but today that just didn't happen. You just got the bare basics, but you got the idea of a really great gift to give. And this will make them really happy. Buy some ribbon. You can put it over it, tape it on bottom, or put it under the bottom, pull it up, tighten a big bow, pull it up this way, tighten a big bow, and just do it like you tie shoes. So it will turn into a really pretty bow when you do that. And I guess I should have done that. Sorry, y'all. If you think you want me to show you how to tie that bow, drop it down in the comments. I'll be happy to get back on here and do that. I do have one on how to do fancy bows, like on top of things like that lantern back there. If you've sat through all of these great ideas, I really appreciate your time and for hanging out with Redneck Rhapsody and all of the YouTube mamas from our Facebook group. I hope you checked out all the playlists, but have a blessed and happy holiday season. If you're finding this playlist and it just happens to be you're looking for a gift for, you know, birthdays, anniversaries, or Secretary's Day, something like that, maybe you found a great idea that will inspire you to give somebody something really special rather than just putting a gift card in an envelope. But once again, thanks to all the YouTube mamas for including me in this, and check out the playlist for everyone else. Have a great one.